Hello, everyone. Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Good
Awesome.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. So we are here to discuss about the journey and the campus experience that our one of our ex-student from PGDB has. His name is Avishkar. He joined us last year for PI preparation, and finally he converted to batch of 2020 and 2022. Avishkar, are you there?
Yeah, Nitin. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm fine. What about you?
Good. So, I'll hand it over to you. You can start with your journey, how your experiences were, and like we can take the queries at the end from all the members over here.
Sure, Nitin. So, first of all, I would like to wish all of you best of luck for your upcoming examinations. And let me start by introducing myself. So, I am currently pursuing PGDBA for the batch of 20 to 22, and I did my undergraduation in manufacturing engineering from BITS Pilani. Post which I worked for 15 months with Tata Trust in Korba, Chhattisgarh. And after that, I converted PGDB, and I'm currently I have just completed my first semester. So, talking about my journey, uh, I would say that when I was in my final year, um, back then I did not know that such a course even exists. I had heard some of the buzzwords such as machine learning, data science, business analytics, but I did not have an exact idea of what they actually meant, right? So back then, I was more inclined towards a management degree, pursuing from one of the IIMs. I gave CAT for the first time, and I got somewhat around 98.76 the first time. That year, I converted some of the colleges. I converted XLRI, NEETI, etc. But then I got a job offer in my final year. So that job offer was really interesting. I mean, it was like a public policy consultant for the central government. So I thought I should pursue it, and maybe after a couple of years I'll start thinking about my masters. So I joined that program, and it was quite hectic over there in Korba. So we were working for the implementation of National Nutrition Mission at the district level. So that way, I think 6 months or so passed, and then you guys must have heard about Niti Aayog, right? So Niti Aayog is a basically public policy think tank arm of the government. I mean, I used to attend. They also conduct meetings at the district level, in which they send one of the national level secretaries, who instruct the district collectors and district administrators on how to govern the district, or how to implement the policies. So whenever they used to visit our district, in every meeting they used to the kind of buzzwords which you hear each day: machine learning, data science, analytics. So I used to hear these words being used quite often, that how they are trying to leverage the power of analytics to make the policy implementation process better. So I started wondering, well, how can they make it better? I started interacting with some of them, and I got in touch with one of the people who were working with Niti Aayog in the implementation department. He is Dr. Avik Sarkar. You can find him on LinkedIn. So then I learned that how pivotal it is, and how much enthusiastic the government is about how to utilize and harness the potential of analytics in the public policy domain, and how it is being utilized in every sphere of our nation, right? So then my inclination also turned towards analytics. Moreover, I like mathematics quite a lot. So I mean, I saw this course as a perfect fit of all the things which I really liked. And of course, it has a I think it has the probably one of the best career potentials in India right now. So I was mainly targeting in my second year. I dropped the plan of MBA, and I was mainly targeting two colleges. One was Indian Institute of Science, Master in Management and Business Analytics, and second one was PGDBA. So, since I had just started my PGDBA prep, I did not know much about that whether there are some prep institutes which help us prepare for these kind of courses, or what should the strategy be like. What I did was I started solving the previous year's paper back then, and I also started solving NCRT, RD Sharma, things which some of the seniors from PGDB had suggested. So I started doing this back in January, and I would say that I think in the end of December. So I studied for, and but probably to my advantage there was the fact that I had already prepared for CAT for 1 year, so a lot of the quant portion for CAT was covered. So I solved NCRT rigorously, and then I think I got 124 out of 150 in the written examination, and I think 111 was the cutoff that year. So I converted the written test, and then I was pretty much clueless for the interviews because I was very much tense that I had heard that they ask a lot of things related to machine learning, data science, statistics, college level mathematics, class 12th level mathematics, lots of things, right? And back then I did not have even a little bit of clue about these things, that what exactly are the basic concepts behind that. So back then I came to, I think on one of the forums, I came to know about Tuted. So then I learned that they specifically make you prepare for PGDBA. So I joined it back then, and I think I did 3 or 4 interview sessions last year. And then I came to know about my weaknesses. I also got preparation tips. Incidentally, in one of the interview panels, had one of my college seniors as one of the interview panelists. So she also guided me quite a lot, right? And then
Who was
I
that, Avishka?
yes, I think I'm talking about Neeti Pokharna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, she first batch of PGDBA,
yes,
yes.
she's from the first batch of PGDB, and I think she guided me quite a lot in the beginning. And then I got in touch with the mentors,
She was
and
your assigned mentor as well in
no,
Tuted?
no, she wasn't my assigned mentor. My assigned mentor was Laha Modak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So after that, she guided me that how should I specifically prepare for some of the topics like statistics or linear algebra, or the probable areas from which they are going to ask the questions from. So I devoted quite a lot. I mean, it helped me optimize my preparation strategy, because there are infinite topics which you can prepare from, but you have to be smart in that regard, right? That thing helped me optimize my strategy, and luckily that year we got quite a lot of time. I mean, usually the interviews are conducted at the end of March, I guess at the end of March. But due to the COVID-19 situation, we were very clueless about the entire scenario. First, they said that it was going to be conducted in April, and then someone said in June, and then what happened was that there was no clue then when exactly was it going to be conducted. So it was months and months, and finally, instead of March, we got notification in I think in August.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, August, that 20 August or so, that our interviews are going to be conducted from 3 to 6th September. Yeah,
That
so
was due to the court case that happened last year, right?
yes, some guy had filed a court case last year regarding the cutoff or something. So that is why the interview process were delayed quite a lot. So what happened was that I mean back then we all had lost hope that they were even going to conduct the interviews, or even if the batch is going to start this year or not, or they going to scrap the entire process. So that was very demotivating at the time, and all of a sudden, like a bolt from the blue, they said that all right, we are going to conduct your interviews in 15 days, right? So everyone was in panic. So and then again, I remember Tutor had launched. I mean, they again helped us in preparation for the interviews in the last moment. So I again attended 2 sessions of interviews for my last minute brush up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So how was the speculation during that day? I mean, this is the similar kind of situation that current aspirants are also facing. So they are speculating whether the exam is going to happen this month or next month. A similar kind of vibe they have. But what was your experience after going into the PGDBA course? Like, was that worth it? Was the wait worth it?
Well, I would say that for someone who has a quantitative bent of mind, I think this is the perfect course, right? Because you often see all these courses are coming up across all over India, which are talking about teaching you data science or business analytics, right? But if you analyze the course content properly, they are usually not mathematically rigorous. And if anyone has worked in the analytic domain, they know that many of the buzzwords which you see today, machine learning, right, regression, all these things have already been implemented by many of these things have been implemented by mathematicians and statisticians 10 or 15 years ago, right? So they are just improving over that. And actually, many more things are also coming up, neural networks and such. But a strong mathematical background, having that kind of thing is very essential. Proper knowledge of statistics, and when you look at a course like PGDBA, which has in which you study from experts in their respective domains. You are studying about management subjects, analytics oriented management subjects from best professors from IIM Calcutta. And then, of course, everyone knows that ISI is best in the nation for statistics. So, to be honest, professor, there are godlike. You will get such a deep insight into various topics which you would have never imagined that concepts can become so easy. Of course, it is a little bit stressful. It is very mathematically rigorous, right? So you would have to put in quite a lot of effort. Moreover, in our batch had started 2 months late, right? So we are in even more stress. But I think totally it is very much worth it. Because the amount of knowledge which you will be gaining in these 5 to 6 months I can only tell you about my experience till ISI semester. So this experience is absolutely worth it, because the kind of in-depth insight and knowledge you would be getting, I don't think you would be getting it anywhere else in India. uh, that much I can say. Moreover, you are surrounded by very meritorious peers, right? 7,000 applicants and only 62 are accepted. So people are most of them have already already working in they're already champions in their field. They have already accomplished something, they have immense knowledge, so you get to learn quite a lot from your peers. So I would say once you make it, and if you have interest in this domain, it is absolutely worth it.
Right, right, right. So
Yeah.
coming back to the interview session that got conducted back in September. So how was that? I can see that you had like a diverse background and like you came from public sector. So how was that experience like? Did that help you with your interview?
Yeah, I would say it certainly helped me quite a lot, because colleges these days are looking for candidates from diverse fields. And when you have people coming from all the different domains, and when you have someone who has already worked in the public policy consulting, so they are really eager to know that how exactly are you going to. And this applies to no matter which field you come from. You have to justify that how do you envision the application of analytics in your domain? So you got to be prepared with that kind of answer. And I was grilled a little bit on that. Then that how do you think the government should use analytics or data science to improve their current processes of service delivery? Um, and moreover, not only that, one thing which is common in all the PGDB interviews is that you got to prepare rigorously for some of the quantitative topics, be it statistics or linear algebra or operations research. So you got to be prepared very well with some of the topics because they are going to grill you on that. There is no way you can escape by, avoiding these mathematical topics and just focusing on general affairs and things like that, like the way it happens in MBA interviews. So, in if I talk about my experience of the interview, I would say around 60 to, initially it started with the IS. As you all know, there are three panelists. One professor is from ISI, one from IIT KGP, and one from IIM Calcutta. So my interview started with ISI professor. So he had quite a lot of questions on linear algebra and statistics. I think 60% of the time was spent over there. And then we moved on to IIM Calcutta professor. So he was asking questions from, Israel-Palestine issue, all these general affairs and general international polity kind of things. And then IIT KGP professor asked a very basic machine learning question like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, what is machine learning, some basic maths questions. So these kind of things. I would say um, if someone was very thoroughly prepared with the basics, they actually want to know that in which is your strong direction, and they grill you heavily on the basis of that. It is not as if you cannot steer the direction of interview in the direction you want it to be.
Right. So, why linear algebra all of a sudden got asked to you? Like, did you have that mentioned in your profile, or did you mention it during your conversation, or it just came out of nowhere?
Yeah, it no, I had not mentioned any mathematical topic anywhere. They only asked me one question, that have you studied statistics in your undergrad? So I replied in affirmative that yes, it was our first semester course. So they straight away asked me 5 to 6 questions on probability and statistics, right? Poisson distribution, things like that. And then all of a sudden, because eigenvalues and eigenvector, these are very common topics, and these are very much prevalent in the field of machine learning also. So and I think if you ask most of the people who were selected, many of them were asked from linear algebra, right? Linear algebra and statistics, I would say these are the most common topics, and somewhat calculus. So I think these are some topics are very common, so they are certainly going to ask you from that, even if we do not mention it.
Got it, Avishkar. So Avishkar, jumping back to the placements and all, any idea, any clue about the final batch's placement, like your seniors, how it is going on, what is happening?
Yeah, so as you all know, the placement stats for this year haven't been released yet. For the 19 to 21 batch, the summer internship stats. But let me assure you that it was even better than the last year. That thing we are sure about. And if you guys want to know that what kind of roles are offered to usually people, I'm not talking about the summer internship right now, I'm talking about the final placement process. So if you guys want to know about what kind of roles are offered, you can choose to either be in core technical domain, for example data scientist and those kind of role, analytics consultant. These are some of the most common roles being offered, and you can also choose to join a managerial analytics kind of thing, right? Because you are not only being taught technical courses, you're also spending 6 months in IIM Calcutta. So that is a very pivotal point of the course, and you are getting a good grasp on the business fundamentals. So you can also choose to be in, you know. Um, Managerial analytics and analytics associate, those kind of roles. So I would say that if talking for a from a pure quantitative perspective, I would say that placements have never been an issue with the PGDBA course since its inception. Uh, if you talk about it, even I would say it is certainly no less that I am A, B, or C. Absolutely no way less. And moreover, the added advantage is that unlike those colleges, even IM ABC have 300 to 400 students, right? So at the the tail end of the batch, some people are going to suffer over there, but you don't see this kind of disparity in PGDBA since there are only 62 people in the batch. Um, the placement process is going to be very smooth. You are
Right.
not going, yeah, you are not going to face such issues.
Right, Avishkar. So, Avishkar, thanks a lot for all the insights that you gave. Let's
Yeah,
switch on to the query session.
sure.
Anyone, any queries regarding PGDBA course and all, you can feel free to like write on the chat window or ask, unmute yourself and ask it to Avishkar straight away.
Let
So
me.
I forgot to give my introduction. So I'm from the first batch of PGDBA, and we were the like lab rats back then. And even like the first batch did not suffer anything. We had like 100% placement, and like slot two. I guess the finals on the final day of placements, the inter all the candidates were placed by slot two or slot three in the morning itself, and there were 50 companies waiting for the students to hire. So that kind of feel you will get in PGDBA. Right. So there are a couple of questions that I can see. Which company provided the highest package this year?
Well, so this year's I mean, if you are talking about the 18 to 20 batch, I haven't. I mean, I only know the the central statistics. I mean, median, mean, those kind of thing. I do not know that which exact company has provided the highest package, and I don't think you need to worry about it. I mean, you should have more focus on the role which is more suited to your interest, and be assured that there are multiple firms um, which are there and which would provide you a package which would be very much to your liking. So once you are in PGDB, you need not worry about getting a good package over here.
Right.
Yeah, and Vaibhav, are there freshers in? Yes, we actually got some freshers. Uh, I think in our batch we have around 4 to 5 freshers. No, sorry, 6 freshers actually, and some of them also have master degree in statistics, right? So because non-engineers are also allowed to sit, provided they have a 3 plus 2 years kind of structure. Number of seats for student category wise reservation, I do not know the exact breakup, but I think around 50% of the seats are reserved for the category students. Will there be that much delay in admission process? No, I don't think you are at least no, I don't think you are going to face that much delay as we faced last year. Um, and I would suggest you to refer to I would suggest you to contact the the PR team of PGDBA. You can contact them on Pagal Guy, that is the forum, and then as you know, a revised criteria has also been released by IM Calcutta, so that should give you some hint about what exactly the process is going to be like. Which field work experience at? Yeah, I would like to clear this one. Many people have this misconception that if they are not from analytics or technical background, they are going to be at a huge disadvantage when compared to the people who are already working in analytics background. I would like to clear up this myth. Even if you have a look at the current batch, you would see that majority of the people are not from core analytics background, data scientist and such. So even I am from a very very different kind of background. I mean, it is a very atypical for a person like me to be in this field, if you think from that perspective. But there is no such constraint. They only want to check whether you would be able to, whether you are suited for this course, whether you are really interested in it, and whether you can keep up with the, you know, rigorosity of the course structure. So that is the only thing they are going to check, no matter which background from you are from. Analytics, non-analytics, engineering, non-engineering, it does not matter even one bit what is your prior analytics background. But if you are from analytics background, they might ask some relevant questions related to that in the interview. um, and no matter which field you are from, they are going to try to test that whether do you have some idea that how analytics is relevant in that domain. Is my voice
Right, right. We can hear
audible?
you.
Yeah, all right. So what is the exact difference between
IT
I,
analytics to
IT
managerial
analytics
role
and
and business analytics role.
business analytics? I would say there is no clear demarcation between such roles. I mean, quite a lot of them are intersecting in nature. Many times different companies have different names for their job profile, but the kind of work you do is more or less similar in many of them. If I talk about analytics managerial role, I think you would be starting off as an analytics associate in the beginning, or as an analyst, and gradually you would move to manager analytics, then with time VP analytics. So you would still be in the analytic domain, you still need technical knowledge, but you would be handling the team of the analytics team which is present in your company. So you would be handling them instead of just acting as a data scientist or a very core technical kind of role. Business analytics is also more or less, I would say, but in I don't think in business analytics you need to be too much technical like that, like a data scientist or something, or a machine learning engineer. You would be coordinating with the software team in the development team in the company to you know uh, process and understand the needs of the client and convey them accordingly.
Right,
Being
right. So I'll just add a point over there. So
Yeah.
there is a difference in business side and the technical side. Whether you would be like sitting in isolation and developing codes and doing data analysis, and or the other way around, you would be like sitting in the business room with founders and all, and you would be like understanding the business and providing insights from them. So that is the two difference or the different role that is there in the market. And as per your choice, as per your alignment, you can like choose those kind of role, and everything else is just renaming the same like role.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
on.
Uh, if you being from a tier 2 engineering college, will it minimize my chances? Or no, I don't know how this rumor started that only they are only considering tier 1 engineering college students. This is not true at all. The thing is that in many of tier 1 engineering, so-called tier 1 engineering colleges, you have people, this course is more famous over there. I mean, a lot of people know about it. That is why if you see a breakup of a number of people applying, a lot of them are from tier 1 engineering colleges. And moreover, they already have these kind of operations, research, statistics, these kind of courses which are present in their undergrad, which are a part of their undergraduate curriculum. So they are uh, um, on an average, they are more aware about this domain. That is why you see relatively higher number of them converting. But if you go and go on LinkedIn and search a little bit, you will see that being from a tier 2 or even tier 3 college for that matter is no constraint in converting PGDBA. They only want to check whether you will be able to keep up with the course. And if they recognize that you have that kind of mind, and you have genuine interest in this domain, then they are certainly going to consider you for the program. We have many people who are from not so well known colleges, and they have converted PGDB in their first attempt. So I would say it is not at all a constraint. Do not focus on these things. Just prepare with a free mind. This is never going to be an issue. Is
Right.
my voice is audible, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's audible. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be like the local issue that Sagar
All
has.
right. All right. Any Are number of seats going to increase? Any reason only two seats from? Oh, I don't know. I think I don't have any idea whether they are going to increase in it or not. That must be according to the governmental norms, maybe. I have seen some BFSI companies in the placement room. Yeah, actually, quite a lot of BFSI companies which recruit from PGDBA. For example, you have Barclays, ICICI Bank, um, um, and you have this D Shaw. Many companies actually recruit from PGDB, and roles, even here the roles were very widely varied. For example, when you talk about D Shaw, they hire for the role of quantitative analyst. And for ICICI Bank, they are hiring for the post of analytics manager. So just like all the other kind of fields or firms which are hiring from PGDBA, there is quite disparity in the kind of roles which are offered. You might be offered a role, purely technical role, or you might be offered a more a role more on the managerial side of things, right?
Right.
So you would have to analyze the uh, profile of the kind of profile each firm is offering accordingly.
Right. So Rahul is asking, I came to know about PGDBA in Jan. Shall I go for rigorous practice in selected maths topics or give a cursory look at all the topics considering the limited amount of time I have? If selected topics, can you please suggest some? So half the portion, let me answer that, and then Avishkar, you can talk about
Sure.
the topics.
Sure.
So if you're starting right now, what you can do is you can practice as much as you can, go through all the topics. Do not miss anything because it's not CAT. You need to attempt as many questions as possible. The cutoff is really high. What you need to, I mean, you have a good opportunity over here. Exams are delayed, so you have a couple of months in hand. So prepare well, start from scratch, and like do like burn as many hours as you can. And regarding the topics, we have already shared like probable topic with quite number of set of questions that have appeared in the past. You can go through it. And Avishkar, any suggestion from you on that topics?
Yeah, I would say focus a bit more on the calculus portion, integrals, differentials, limits, continuity, and differentiability, and also on the conic section, because last year there were some good questions from, I think, two or three good questions from the conic sections. So, and also one more topic, matrices and determinants. So these topics are going to be very important, as they are not covered in CAT also, right? They are different from that. So but I would say do not leave any specific topic in limbo. Prepare, more or less prepare from all the topics, because the cutoff is really high. I mean, 111 out of 150, and um, you never know, one fine day they might decide to give questions from a specific topic much more and then it would be really problematic. uh,
Extracurricular activities, how important are they for interview? Did
uh,
they ask you any questions from that during interviews?
yeah, actually they once you clear the written, no, even actually during the form filling time, when you fill it for the written exam, they make you fill up a form in which you have to state your extracurricular activities and academic achievements and things like that. So you got to fill that section very carefully, because when they conduct your interview, they have that form in their hand and they are going to ask questions from that. For example, they asked me that they had asked me to introduce myself. So I had not mentioned any specific hobby, that I have this and this hobby. So they asked me that, do you have any hobby? They asked that additionally. So if you have any good extracurricular activity, please do mention it. But only mention it if you can, if you are thoroughly, or if you are very much well versed with it, because they are going to ask you from it inside out. Because when they asked me what do I like doing in my free time, and then I told them that I like reading about the international relations and geopolitics kind of topics. So the IIM Calcutta professors asked me 5 or 6 questions from that. So you got to be very well prepared from that aspect, right? So do not mention anything which you cannot justify in the interview.
Right, right. And one more thing, do not mention those things. Like people generally say that they have participated in XYZ. I mean, that doesn't matter, right? I mean, if they will start drilling you on that. Mention only if you have done something like outstanding or like achieved something outstanding worth mentioning. What level of mathematics preparation is needed for PGDB exam, JEE mains, advanced? Which one? So mains is more than enough. Do not go for advance. That it will just burn your time right now. Only if you like need some more clarity on the topics, solve 2 3 problems from the advanced section. If you have the clarity, come back and like start with the mains preparation. So that is more than enough. Sorry, I took the question myself.
Yeah.
Any thoughts
No,
on that,
no.
Avishkar?
Yeah, what you said was exactly what I was going to say. I would say that preparing up to the JEE advanced level would certainly be a waste of time. I mean, they do ask good level questions, but it is not going to be as hard as JEE advanced level, right? So even if you have your basics very clear, and you solve questions up to the JEE mains level, I would say that would be more than sufficient. But no matter what you start from, do practice some good questions from NCRT as well, because it is going to strengthen your basics very much. The good questions from NCRT.
Right. I agree to that. NCRT is important, and like last year we prepared students for NCRT only, and
Yeah,
that helped a lot of students. What could
exactly.
be more helpful to convert the interview, statistics, linear algebra concepts, or experience in analytics project? So I'll take that question. So last year what we did was we gave a brief intro on statistics to all the students and probability. Matrix and determinant is one of the chapter that you can revise for interviews. Rest everything depends on how you take your interview at that point of time, how your profile is. If you mention that you know analytics, they will drill you on that. If you say that you know convolutional neural networks, you can expect like a lot of questions from that. So do not just vaguely mention anything to boost your candidature. So take that very seriously and focus on your strengths at that point of time, and whatever advice that you're getting from tutored panel and tutored mentor, just follow those things and you'll be good to go. Any thoughts on that, Avishkar?
Yes, I would say that y- you know prepare for 2 or 3 topics very well. For example, statistics, linear algebra, and you might also prepare for calculus. Do not go around like preparing for each and everything and going in depth for everything, like very random and vague topics, because they are going. Because you have the option of steering the interview in the direction you want. For example, more I think most of the time they ask you that which topics you are comfortable with, right? If you say that okay, I am comfortable with linear algebra, so they're certainly going to ask 4 or 5 questions from that topic. So if they see that you are thorough in the topics which you mention as your strength, that is going to be a very positive point. Just do not try to increase the breadth of your preparation or width of your preparation. Go more on the depth on some of the topics.
Right, very well said.
Yeah.
uh, is it mandatory to know machine learning basics for interview? JEE Advanced Math is enough. JEE Advanced Math we have already covered
Yeah.
in one of the question. So what about machine learning basics for interview? Is
Uh,
it mandatory?
No, it is not mandatory as such. Look, I did not know even till my interview preparation started. I did not even know the definition of what machine learning actually means, right? The concepts behind that. But if you are going to pursue a course which is an intersection with these kind of topics or these domains, you should at least know the very basics. Like, for example, what is machine learning? How is it different from artificial intelligence? Because even a layman should be knowing the very basics. And
The
then
basic high level questions, right? The basic
yeah,
difference and all. Right.
exactly. And supervised versus unsupervised learning. Or if you are a bit more explorative, then you can cover linear regression. You need not know the in-depth mathematics or how you can implement them using R or Python. But I think you should try to cover. For example, if I talk about my preparation, I covered the theoretical basics of. First of all, rigorously covered all the the keywords like big data, what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence, these kind of things. Then I covered basics of linear regression, logistic regression, random forest, decision trees, support vector machines. I know I covered quite a lot, but I only went through the basics of these topics. I did not delve into very much depth that how am I going to apply these in real life using R or Python. So you need not worry about that. But if you cover the very, for example, I can tell you that how it proved beneficial for me. Somewhere during the conversation with the IIT KGP professor, I casually mentioned that I know the very basics of machine learning. So he was very much surprised that how come you know about these topics. And even though he did not ask me very hard questions, I think that proved to be a very positive point for me in the interview. I mean, he was very much impressed.
Right.
Yeah. Uh,
And Anuja is asking, do we need to provide proof of extra whatever is written on your profile, you need to provide proof of that. Do not take it lightly. Whatever you're mentioning, you will be asked questions on that. So like think well before like writing it down during form filling or while mentioning it to the interview panel.
exactly.
So, right. So, this is it. Thanks, Avishkar, for your time over here. And questions mostly that we had today was basically on interviews and also, guys, statistics, machine learning, etc., etc. We have already covered these things in our machine learning classes. You can get the recorded sessions or access to that. Go through it. You do not need to like dig deep into it. Whatever you are able to understand from those things, prepare that and be very clear on the concepts that you are having in your profile. So if you are having like if you have mentioned random forest, go through the random forest concept and where you have applied, why you have applied, things like that. If you don't have random forest, no need to mention it in your profile and don't need to like know about it. If you know it, it is good to have, but it's not mandatory. So these are the things that you need to like think on and prepare for. And for rest of the things, we are there at Tutored. We will be helping you on with your preparation, with your interview prep, mentorship, etc., etc. So you don't need to worry about that. So thanks a lot, Avishkar, for your time today, and thank you. We will be meeting you again. In
Thank you.
case like we can onboard you for the mentorship as well, we will be looking forward to it. And all the best for your exam tomorrow, right?
Thank
You
you.
have
Thank you,
exam.
Nitin. Yeah, yeah. I got my stochastic exam tomorrow. Thank you so much for inviting me here, Nitin. It
No
was
problem.
really
Always a
nice
pleasure.
interacting. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your time. And thanks everyone for joining in today. We will be conducting these kind of interaction for you guys. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.